What's going on, guys? It's Rob from Heroes Avenue. Happy Tuesday. First of all, I want to apologize for missing Monday's video, but there is a ton of things to talk about in the world of DC today. Of course, the huge announcement that just happened this morning. Darren is going to talk about that in our next video. It has to do with DC FanDome. I did a video about it on Friday. It was a rumor at that point. Now it's official. I'm super hyped to be a DC fan. Just quickly giving my 2 cents before we get into this whole Robin controversy. DC FanDome. I woke up this morning, tons of directors, actors, everyone involved in the DCEU kind of kept this under wraps for a while and just announced it. So what I talked about on Friday is coming true, and I'm so hyped because it feels like as a DC fan, we're always fighting an uphill battle in terms of getting what we want from the studio, from DC and WB, and it just feels like we're finally winning here. We're finally getting what we want as fans fulfilled, and it's pretty crazy that we're getting a virtual convention just a month after San Diego Comic-Con's virtual convention. So I'm hyped. There's going to be a lot of big announcements. Darren will talk about it in the next video. All right, let's move in to today's topic, or this video's specific topic, and it's going to be a really fine-tuned one. You know, there's a lot of other things going on. Maybe I'll talk about it at the end of this video. But I wanted to get into this because I was on Twitter, and I was looking at some of the controversy surrounding this Robin situation, right? So if you recall, the Batman v Superman movie obviously showed us Robin's suit, and it was implied that the Joker had killed Robin, and Zack Snyder confirmed on Vero basically that his Robin, or his Robin that got killed, the infamous "Joke's on you, Batman" spray painting and spray painted onto the suit, that belonged to Dick Grayson, according to Zack Snyder. And this is not anything new. We knew this ahead of time. Like over a year ago, Zack Snyder mentioned this, and it didn't really draw up a lot of attention because at this point, Justice League was Justice League, and we all thought Zack Snyder, or we all imagined Zack Snyder would never come back to the DC universe. So here's what he said on Vero, responding to a fan. It says, "Did you have plans to dive deeper into the background of Dick's death in your future movies, maybe Justice League?" And later on, he says, "A hint in Justice League." So that essentially confirms that Dick was dead and killed by the Joker. And basically, in his DCEU, there is no current Robin. Dick Grayson is dead. And when this happened, there's more to this story in a second. But when this happened, I was on Twitter, and there was a ton of people chiming in, talking about it. A lot of people were mad about it. And again, this is nothing new. And I will say myself, I wish that wasn't something that he had done. And again, just because I disagree with this, I won't say disagree. Just because I wish this wasn't true doesn't mean I am not for his full vision being implemented, and I definitely am for that. Of course, you may not like every single aspect of every movie, but I for one am a huge Zack Snyder fan. I've been fighting for the Snyder Cut for the longest time, and if that's what he wanted to do in his movie, I fully support it. I just kind of wish that it wasn't the case, because the character of Dick Grayson is such a complex one that you can build off of and expand, and it's just a complex and rich character, and he's probably the most beloved Robin out of all of them. And I think a lot of fans would want to see him continue in the universe that Zack Snyder created. Doesn't look like that's the case, at least here, because he was going to hint at Dick Grayson's death in Justice League. So we may still get that in the HBO Max series, or we may not. Maybe it'll change, because we do know Chris McKay, director of the Lego Batman movie and more, he was supposed to direct a Nightwing movie, and it looks like that's been tabled for now. But since Warner Brothers and DC are kind of reverting back in some regards to what the DCEU was going to be, maybe we'll still get that. Who knows? I, for one, hope Chris McKay does get that. I loved what he did with the Lego Batman movie, and I really think he does get the characters. He does get these DC characters, and I think he could do a great job. And I know he was really working on it, and hopefully he gets his shot at it. And again, it's kind of conflicting, especially because if Zack Snyder was going to kill Dick Grayson, then that means then the Nightwing movie had to be a prequel of some sorts, right? And I know Suicide Squad addressed this. I can't remember if they said Jason Todd was killed or if Dick Grayson is killed. I do think that in Suicide Squad, they changed it so that Jason Todd was killed. I cannot remember. I don't like watching Suicide Squad over and over. You guys remind me in the comments section. Anyways, if the air cut ever gets released, we may see that changed because I think that part was changed by Jeff Johns. So anyways, this story continues because it looks like Zack Snyder responded on Vero again to someone else. So the person says, was there a plan to bring back Richard after Flashpoint, or was Richard, Dick Grayson, always meant to stay dead? Curious, please see this question. And Zack Snyder did see this question and says, stay dead till Carrie. Now, there's a couple ways to interpret this. First of all, Carrie Kelley is the Batman's Robin in the Dark Knight Returns comic, the very, probably the most famous Batman story, or one of the most famous Batman stories out there, and the comic that really inspired Zack Snyder for Batman v Superman. So actually, with all the controversy, you know, it's really no surprise that the Robin that he wanted to introduce would be the girl Robin, right? So Carrie Kelley would be really, really interesting to see Carrie Kelley on screen, but I think the main issue with a lot of people is the fact that Dick Grayson is such a beloved character. You can spin Dick Grayson off into, into the Titans or the Teen Titans, whatever iteration you want to have of that. But there's a lot of potential there, and especially if you're seeing what they're doing on the DC Universe app. I actually just finished season 1, and I'm now midway through season 2 of Titans. And I absolutely love this show. I can't believe I've been waiting so long to watch Titans. I love it with all of its flaws, and I actually think, I forget the actor's name who plays Dick Grayson. I think he does a great job. But obviously there would be a different Robin in the DCEU, and it was originally envisioned as a 5-part arc for Zack Snyder. So with him being the creator of this universe, he's definitely setting the groundwork, and I think a lot of people had issue with the fact that this universe could not have a Robin going forward. And this person right here, Sam, he mentions Flashpoint and how things could change, and he says, stay dead till Carrie. And again, Zack Snyder introducing a girl Robin, that would be, first of all, that would be super awesome for a lot of the girls out there, especially the little girls who are fans of superheroes, guys or couples with daughters who want their daughter to kind of look up to these heroes and look up to a Robin themselves. That would be awesome, to see a girl Robin up there, especially because it's not been done on live action before, as far as I can tell. Yeah, that would be awesome. I'm not against that at all. But there's another way to interpret this. He says, stay dead till Carrie. So what does that mean? He stays dead until Carrie comes and somehow he's brought back to life? Flashpoint? I don't know. Was he going to take Jason Todd's whole story and there was going to be no Jason Todd? So I wouldn't think that'd be the case. Otherwise, the other interpretation is that he just stays dead and Carrie kind of revives the Robin role. So there's a couple ways, you can take it. Either way, I don't think we're going to really know until we see Zack Snyder's Justice League come out on HBO Max, and I still think there's room to change that fact. Don't know if he will. And I want him to do his vision, so whatever he wants to do, I'm supporting that because I am supporting the Snyder Cut. I want to see what he had in mind, and that includes all the stuff I might even not want to happen. I don't want Dick Grayson to not be part of his universe going forward, but if that was the case, that was the case. I'll take it. I just want to see a great movie. So we'll see where this actually leads to, if the Robin movie is still going to happen. Maybe this is something that can easily be changed. Maybe he can, just refer to it as Jason Todd from now on. But I don't think Zack's going to do that. Zack seems firm in his vision, and I respect that. So let me know what you guys think about the whole situation. Do you think Zack Snyder should introduce Carrie Kelley as the new Robin, or do you want him to kind of rewrite what he originally planned, and instead of making Dick Grayson the person that died, make it so that it's Jason Todd, leaving a door open for some Nightwing stories in the future, or Titan stories in the future, and even a story about Jason Todd coming back as the Red Hood. Yeah, there's a lot to say there. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for Darren's video. about all of the DC news coming up in the future. There's a lot to look forward to. Wonder Woman 1984 just got delayed. Obviously, we got a little bit of a look at Cheetah, just a little spoiler look. I mean, not a spoiler look, just a little bit of a tease, I should say. And we got a lot of news about what's going to be introduced soon. So stay tuned for that. Check out the next video. Hopefully it's Darren's if you're seeing this tonight. Otherwise, just check out all our videos. See you guys later. Peace.